Hi, Andrew Harvey, counsellor and psychotherapist here based in Nottingham and also working online. I wanted to do a short video today about cravings and the opportunity in those actually. So often cravings is something that people who are trying to either seek or maintain recovery from compulsive or addictive use of behaviours, so gambling or pornography or overworking or many behaviours, that are causing you more harm than good, or addictions or compulsive use of substances, so that could be drugs, smoking, food, alcohol. So cravings gets talked about a lot, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the process of what goes on there and how people might think about meeting them. Because cravings is often talked about as something people want to get rid of, push away, distract themselves from, and these can be helpful for some people, but often it's a bit like struggling in quicksand. The more you struggle, sometimes the more you get pulled in. So I wanted to talk about another way of maybe meeting those cravings, and I do mean sort of meeting them, so with curiosity, because I think they yield information for people that can be helpful in making lasting and maintaining lasting change, even leaning into them slightly with a curiosity, because I think when I talk about cravings, I think I'm talking about a physical sensation or maybe a thought or both, like a push towards something or a pull towards something, habitual automatic type actions and thoughts. All of these things I think can be considered cravings, and obviously they come in different intensity. They're sometimes more distressing than others, but I don't think a craving can do any harm to you unless you are unable to make room for it and stick to your valued direction, stick towards what's important to you. It's when it pulls you off the path of who you want to be, where you want to be, that of course that relapse or lapse can happen. And I think the information and the gold, if you like, in cravings is if we can become gently curious about them, of, where do I feel that? What is that feeling? What is that feeling communicating to me? What's that thought? What caused that? We can start to understand some of our triggers. How did that happen? What's going on with me today? We can maybe meet them with more wisdom and compassion and intelligence. I mean, the good news is if you're getting a craving or a pull towards something, it's probably because you're not doing that thing. So congratulations first that you're making the change in that moment. Certainly if you're not acting on the craving, you're making the change. So there's some information. Might it tell you something about, so if we think about craving, so there's an iceberg, if you like, we use that. There's the bit above the water, and then there's all this massive stuff that could be under the water. So the craving might be the feeling, the bit that sticks under, or the thought, or the, I don't know, even acting out a little bit. But what's under it? And this is where the curiosity and the gold, because if we are willing to maybe not push it away and stay a bit more alongside it, then there might be some wisdom in that. It might reveal some needs that are not being met, that might help you meet them in a more healthy way. I hear people talk about cravings, and then when I dig into it, they start talking about boredom or anger or anxiety or sadness, and these are all emotions, these are all feelings, these are all things that we can take emotion towards perhaps doing something about, and if we can't, learning to be alongside in a more healthy way. So rather than push cravings away, as we get curious, either with ourselves or with a therapist or with another, if you're in some kind of fellowship, maybe with a sponsor or somebody else who's in recovery or someone that you trust, we start getting curious and go, what's really going on with me? Because it's not usually that you want to really truly act out. It's not usually that you want the thing, the drink, the substance. It's that you either want to escape something or try and attain something. And my argument is that if we're curious about what it is that you're trying to seek, you can find healthier ways to do that. Ways that will take you towards the life you want to live, rather than towards the addictive life that's doing the damage and the destruction. And when I say damage and destruction, I don't just mean out there, I mean to you, to your heart, to your soul, to the person you want to be. So I guess what I'm saying is, and a bit of a long-winded way of saying it, but when a craving arrives, it offers you a choice and it offers you some information. And maybe if you could just invite that choice of, oh, here's a moment for me to carry along the valued road that I'm choosing. And I might need to make space for some difficult feelings or some difficult thoughts or some life circumstances that are not ideal for me. But hey, maybe I can get creative and find ways, either alone or with others is always a good way to meet those challenges, rather than pause them, move away from them and cause some more in compulsions and addictions. Hope that's been helpful. Thank you. Good luck with those cravings, and maybe just be curious and be gentle.